Hello, Atomy Philippines! My name is Star Master Pak Ju Young. I'm excited to be here. This is my first time here in Davao. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to come and speak. I love the Philippines. I've been here many times. But next time, I want to come here for a little longer and look around and sponsor and speak to you guys. But I'm always excited because there's so much potential yet unleashed in Atomy. Do you believe that? So today, I want to share with you a little bit about the history of Atomy, about Atomy Korea, and about Atomy Philippines and the direction that we're going. And I want to share a little bit about my personal testimony and why I chose Atomy and why I believe everybody in this room, if you choose to do Atomy correctly, in due time, you will also become successful. Do you believe that? So let me give you a brief introduction about myself. I was born in the United States. That's why my English is okay. Right? And my parents were first-generation immigrants. So they moved to the States to pursue success, right? A lot of us have dreamed about living the American dream, right? About having that beautiful house, that beautiful yard with the white picket fence with the kids running around, right? Yes. That's great. But that's not very easy to obtain. The reality is a lot of us work very hard and very diligently to try to accomplish what we call success. We want to be able to give the best life that we can to our loved ones, to our children, to our parents. Wouldn't you agree? But during the pursuit of success, many people come to realize their lack of ability. Okay? A lot of individuals maybe do not accept the fact that they have a lack of ability, but most individuals do not become successful in certain areas because of their lack of ability. Okay? So that's what I want to talk to you about. So how does Atomy solve that problem? How does the average individual become successful in this business? Because wouldn't you agree that everybody here today, you would consider yourself average, right? You're not a superstar. You haven't gotten, let's say, award-winning novels, and you don't have a bestseller out there. You're not. Everybody here today are just average individuals working really hard to pursue a better life. And a lot of companies trick you, or they give you hope that you will become successful like this and that if you follow this and buy this program. But that's not what we do. Look around you today. Look at this seminar. How much did it cost you to come to this lecture today? Did it cost you anything? No, it didn't cost you a penny. But here you are being educated by the company and given the chance to invite other people to this location to listen even if you lack the ability to lecture. And if that person chooses to come to this lecture today and they are drawn into the lecture, into the Atomy vision, and choose to become a consumer or choose to do the business, you benefit 100% just as though you did the lecture. That is the power of Atomy. So let me draw out for you the normal pursuit that we will have to go through and the process that we'll have to go through to become successful. Many individuals here today want to achieve what we call passive income. And a lot of us understand what active income is and what passive income is. Everybody starts from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 equals 100% of your active ability. Okay? So if you desire to become a doctor, if you desire to become a lawyer, if you desire to become a nurse, whatever it is that you desire to become, you are responsible to study, to pass the necessary tests, to then become that professional. Do you agree? So that is 100% dependent on your actions and what? Your ability to pass that specific test. Business is the same. If you want a successful restaurant, it is your responsibility to become an individual who can provide delicious food to your customers with great service. But if you lack the ability to market and you lack the ability to provide that delicious dish, then will your restaurant do well? It will not do well. You will not succeed. So these are the things that today I want to cover. And I want you to understand that the average individual in this business can still become successful. I'm not here to talk about fluff and to tell you if you do this and that. No. This lecture is about being real, about giving you a real opportunity to success if you choose to take the necessary steps to bring you to that location. So when I first started Atomy, it was in 2013. 2013, I started in February. I worked 10 hours a day for 30 days. That equals how many hours? 300 hours. I invested 300 hours of that month recruiting people, telling people about the absolute quality and price Atomy will offer them, about the opportunity to become a business owner without having to invest a dime. I told all these people about the future that Atomy will bring to them. And I got paid $73.30. So how much is that in pesos? Is that like 8,000 pesos? No? 3,000? Oh, okay. So not even that much, right? So if you invested 300 hours and you got paid $73, would you continue to do the business? If you know Atomy, yes. But if you do not know Atomy, the answer would be no. Everybody told me that I was crazy because before doing Atomy, I was a university professor. I had a great job. My work-life balance was amazing. I only had to work 9 hours a week. I only had to go to the office twice a week. I had no boss. Why? Because I made my own curriculums. I was the professor. I was my own boss. But doing that job didn't fulfill me. I love teaching and I love seeing progress. But even though I taught my students, I couldn't get them their job. Right? All I can do was teach them the necessary skills needed to become a better candidate for that future position they were applying for. But I couldn't really hold their hands and drag them through the process. But in Atomy, I could. In Atomy, I can teach all my downline members and even the members within the company, just like I'm doing now, how to become successful. And at the same time, I can show them what I did and how I did it to get to where I am today. Because when I registered, I was an agent just like you. I had no downline. I was just a little square in the Atomy lineage system, just like you. But my one square turned into 2, 3, 4, 5, and now 80,000 plus. This is the vision of Atomy. I had zero network marketing experience. Many people would say, oh, you must have had experience in the business. You must have had experience in this and that. You must have had a great network, a large network. No, I was a foreigner in the country I started doing my business. Because I was an American citizen. I lived in America my whole life. And I went to Korea to pursue my language and culture. And when I was there, I met Atomy. And when I met Atomy, I had zero network. I couldn't speak the language properly. And when everybody saw me, when I spoke Korean, they were confused because I wasn't able to speak natively. They said, oh, you look Korean, but you're not Korean. Right? So they were very confused. And therefore, I didn't fit in. So imagine a foreigner trying to do a network marketing business within that country. Do you think that will be easy? No, it won't be easy. But guess what? In 9 months, I became an auto sales master. In 1.5 years, I became a Leaders Club member, and 3.5 years later, during my Atomy process, I became a Royal Leaders Club member, and now I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. How is this possible? You have to think about this. How is this possible? If this is possible for me, why can't it be possible for you? What makes me any better than you? What makes me any more qualified than you? Nothing. You're sitting in the same exact location that I was in. When I first started Atomy, I didn't know anything about anything. All I knew was the products were good. That's it. So let me explain to you what business is about. Business is so simple. Business is you sell a product or you sell a service. That is it. That is the end of business, right? You go to a restaurant, they sell you food, right? You go to a clothing store, they sell you clothes. You go to the airlines, they sell you a service, a ticket. You go to the lawyers, they sell you a service. Wherever you go, when you exchange your money for something, you are exchanging it for a product or a service. Do you agree? Yes. That is the end of business. So, if you want a successful business, you must choose the business that will bring you the most customers. Why limit yourself to products that will not generate the consumers needed for success? So if you choose to start a restaurant, wouldn't you rather start a franchise where everybody already knows the brand and your success ratio is 90, 80% higher than a no-name brand? Yes. But what's the problem? The problem with starting those kinds of business is the lack of capital. If you have the money necessary, you can become rich. Money makes money. Have you never heard that before? If you have money, you will make money. Once you become rich, you can never become poor. If we, regular individuals, buy a car, the car depreciates. If a rich person buys a first edition Ferrari, the car appreciates. You cannot lose money if you are rich. Everything you touch and buy goes up in price. It's very true. But how do we get there? That's a question we've been asking ourselves all our lives, no? So many times we try to accomplish that goal, but many times we fail because of the lack of ability that we have. So, Business 101, right? Business 101, what is it? You have to sell a product or a service that changes consumer habit. Everybody follow me. You must sell a product or a service that changes consumer habit. If you do not have a product that will change the consuming habit of your customers, they will leave you for another product. You will have a revolving door. And no matter how many people you recruit, your business will never build residual income. And it will never become passive. Because you sit 3 people down, and then what? 3 people leave before you can sit the next person down. Every time you sit somebody down, they're running away, and you're chasing these people and looking for new people. That's the reality of direct selling and selling a product that cannot change consumer habit. Do you want to do that kind of business? No. Why? Why waste your energy? So what kind of business do you need to do? You need to do the business that Atomy is in. Providing consumers with absolute quality, absolute price. So therefore, if they want a toothbrush, it has to be Atomy's. If they want a toothpaste, it has to be Atomy's. If they want an eye cream, it has to be. That's the product that you need. My wife used a $110 deep cleanser before meeting Atomy. How much? $110. That is very expensive. Okay? But she used that product because many of her friends used that product. It was a very famous deep cleanser. But when she used Atomy's deep cleanser, she was shocked to find out that it was twice as good as what she was using at home. But the price, it was less than $8 a bottle. $110 versus $8. Which one are you going to buy? If the quality is twice as good and the price is that cheap, then you will become an Atomy user for life. Now you have a consumer who changed their consuming habit because of this. Do you understand? So this is the vision that I'm speaking to you today with. That's how I became successful in Atomy. Because the company provided me with the necessary tools so that I can go out and build the business. So in this business, we have so many things to talk about. But the vision that I want to share with you is very simple. We have to answer the questions that's lingering around us. Many people do not like MLMs. Many people do not like network marketing companies. However you want to call it, it's the same thing. Many people lose dear friends and family members. They ignore your phone call. They don't want to talk to you anymore. They say you do the business by yourself because they don't understand. Or because you contacted them with a business that was not very beneficial to them. If you contact them with Atomy, there's no reason for them to run away. Right? So, why do people not like MLMs? Let's answer that question first. Many people say it is a pyramid scheme. Have you heard that term before? A pyramid scheme. Okay? It is a pyramid scheme. So I got this question the other day when I was sponsoring one of my centers. They said, is Atomy a pyramid scheme? And I asked them, are you referring to the shape of the pyramid, or are you referring to the meaning behind what a pyramid means to you? And she said, I think the meaning, right? Because every shape is the same, right? There's a company CEO, there are directors, right? There are employees and then consumers. The pyramid shape is the same. Even your family tree looks like a pyramid, right? It goes up and down, right? Grandma, grandpa, and so on and so forth comes down. So the shape is not the problem, okay? The shape is not the problem. The problem is many people say pyramid schemes are a problem because only the people on top make money, right? So it's unfair. It's unfair because only the people on top make the money. So if I solve that problem for you, it becomes fair, right? Okay, so let me solve that. So Atomy has a PV ceiling, right? Meaning that this person, no matter if they were registered first, will max out at a certain percentage, which is around $50,000 a month. And this person with the same volume will be able to make the same amount of income the person on top makes because there is a income ceiling. So your positioning in the pyramid doesn't matter. It's about your downline revenue. So in other companies, the top always make a percentage. So therefore, they are always making more money. As the company revenue goes up, as the group revenue goes up, their income stream continues to go up and up and up because there is no cap. But in this business, that is not good. Because as the company can only distribute 35% of its revenue, if the top continues to gain all the percentages, there will never be anything remaining for the individuals coming in at the bottom. So it's a mathematical problem. And that problem we solved by distributing the PV with the end value. If you don't understand this, you can study it more with your sponsor and you will understand it. So This is a very, very good system in terms of creating fair income levels for everybody around. So as a Star Master in Atomy, I am a Royal Club member. There are other individuals in the company that are the same PV, volume, and mastership as I am. And everybody in the company gets paid the same. I don't get paid according to my volume, but rather everybody gets the same payout. And that's what we call global distribution of commission. And that works very well in this system. Why? Because it allows us to leverage our inabilities. So now I'm going to go into the details of what does effort versus ability mean, okay? So a lot of people work hard to accomplish whatever dream that they have, right? If you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a nurse, then you try your best to do what? To study and pass the test, right? But let's say that you studied really hard, but you failed the test. And you study another year, and 3 years later, you're still failing the test. Then what should you think to yourself? Should I keep studying? Okay, study some more then. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years have passed. What do you do now? Still study? Okay, 7 years. When are you going to stop studying? Until you pass the test? You may be too old then. You have to accept the fact that you can't pass the test. Is that sad? That's reality. Sometimes reality can be sad. But you have to understand your inability, right? But in Atomy, what are the things that limit you to success? What are the things in network marketing that limit your success? Okay? So in network marketing, the things that limit your success can be answered very easily. Okay? So the first one, inability to recruit members. Right? Not being able to prospect. Prospecting, no good. So if you can't recruit members, your downline will never increase, right? So of course, if you cannot recruit people, your downline will never increase. Another one, you have to be good at sales. So if you are not good at sales, then what's going to happen? Are you going to be able to move the product? So now you can't recruit people or move product. You're just a lost cause, right? Maybe this business isn't for you, is what you think. Next, you have to be a charismatic, persuasive individual. If you're always sad and down and I'm doing something called Atomy, but maybe you should give it a try. They're like, are you okay? Did Atomy turn you like that? But if you're energetic and you're like, you won't believe the fun and excitement I'm having with this new business I have. They're like, oh, what is it? Isn't there a difference? Yes, of course. So if you're not that kind of person, your personality is not like that, then you fail again. There's so many things that fail. So you have to encompass all these leadership skills to build a downline. Have you ever seen a successful person in other MLMs who just look misfit? They're like, how did that person get up on that stage? I've never been to an MLM conference where I looked at the top leaders and thought to myself, he doesn't belong there. Everybody up there looks like they belong there. They all look like actors and actresses with their beautiful dresses and tuxedos, driving their fancy cars. Wouldn't you agree? But when I went to Atomy, I was very confused. Because the leaders I saw on stage did not look like they belonged on stage. They just looked like my grandma and grandpa. And when they were lecturing, they were stuttering, and not able to speak eloquently. And I thought, how did that person become successful? And how are they making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month? I couldn't comprehend it. Can you comprehend that? That makes no logical sense. Because business doesn't work that way. But in Atomy, there's something special. And when I saw that, I was encouraged. Why? Because I thought to myself, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, what? Why can't you do it? You can. Why? Because Atomy has a very unique system of effort and ability. If you lack these abilities, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because once you register somebody in your downline, and that individual, somebody within your group, within your family group, within your friend group, will see the vision that Atomy can provide them. Because it's not your responsibility to do the lecture. You can invite them where? Here. And when they see that they can also do Atomy, then they will be the ones actively going to the seminars with you, building the downline with you, calling their friends in different countries, and leveraging their ability. But in Atomy, if this person does well, automatically 100% of their efforts, their PV, becomes whose? Yours. So even if you are not good at selling, if somebody in your downline is able to move products, then it is just like you moved it. It is just the same. If you cannot speak and lecture professionally or do not have the ability to persuade, does it matter? No. Because it's inevitable that somebody in your downline will have the necessary skills and abilities to do those things with you. Atomy made this company because they wanted to help the average individual who was struggling in life but were willing to put in the hard work to bring people and share the products with individuals. There is no such thing as free success, right? Success doesn't come free. But in this business, there are very, very few things that we require from you. We require that you, A, try the products and choose to consume the products that you feel benefit you. We never say buy all of it. You must use all of it. Do we say that? Does CEO Park say that? No. He says to buy and use products that you feel benefit you. But in other network marketing companies, what do they have? They have auto ship. They have starter packages. They force you to continue to consume items for the hope of making money. For the what? For the hope of making money. But when you go to your local supermarket, when you go to your local shopping malls, do those stores force you to pay money to enter? No. Does the mall force you to pay money? Is there entrance fee? No. So why should there be a registration fee in a MLM? When you enter a store and you don't buy a specific amount, then do they kick you out of the store? You can only enter my store if you buy $100 worth of products or else leave. Do they do that? Then why are there monthly requirements in MLMs? There shouldn't be. Another way that MLMs try to get you is to try to give you a discounted product price depending on your rank in the company. They make you fight with each other. They tell you If you want to become a business partner, then you need to stock up X amount and buy this and that so that you can gain rank and get a 30% discount. And if you get 30% off the products that you buy from the company, then you can turn around and make a 30% margin off of the individuals that are buying from you. They try to make you maintain a position and buy the products so that you can sell it and turn around and make a profit. If you think about the logic behind that process, then what will happen? Your downline will never be able to grow because you will always have a higher rank than your downline. You will then always be able to obtain products cheaper than your downline, and therefore your downline will never have leverage over you to grow. It doesn't work. But in Atomy, your rank does not matter. As long as you are a registered member, we all get the products at the same price. That is the beauty of this business. Everybody is on the same playing ground. It's a fair start. Nobody has a head start over you. Look at all the empty chairs in the back. Look at how tiny this hall is. To me, that is a very positive thing. I don't know what it is to you, but to me, it shows me that out of all the individuals here in this city, you are the only ones here. So out there, it is a what? Blue ocean. There are millions of people in the Philippines that have yet even heard of Atomy, or even if they've heard about it, don't understand Atomy. There are so many individuals hungry for success, looking for success, but not knowing what to do. So it is now what? Your job to go out and share the good news that Atomy can bring to them. Wouldn't you agree? This business is not even yet on the starting point. Our goal is $100 billion. How much? $100 billion. We only did $1 billion in sales so far. So, what percent is that? Our company is still only at the 1% stage globally. Here, it's even tinier. You guys are at like the 0.001% stage. You haven't even gotten started. In the very beginning stages of Atomy Korea, nobody wanted to do the business. Why? Because we were a network marketing company with no website. We were selling products and we had no website. We only had 2 items. And when you bought that item, there weren't even instruction manuals within the product. Why? Because Atomy could not afford to print. When you went to the office, we did not have a sign. It was a blank piece of paper with Atomy written on it. Because that was the only office space that we could afford. But the individuals that understood the concept of prestige, of absolute product, then they had faith in CEO Park, and they understood that in due time, they would become successful. And that's exactly what happened to the individuals that stuck around. They are now the Imperial Masters and Crown Masters and the Royal Masters. They are the ones making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Because why? They stuck around. But when Atomy Philippines first started, it was the same story. So many people came and so many people left. Because they complained about not having this product, or the website not functioning correctly, or why do we have to register people with TIN number? Why does this have to happen? This have to happen? Why can't we ship this way? Why don't we have COD? So many things that you complain about. But all the people who complained are gone. And the people who are still here are the ones willing to stand in line and make that bank deposit to buy the product. Those are the people who will become successful in the future, not the ones who continue to complain about what they don't have or what tools that they don't have to succeed. How do we have a Sharon Rose Master in the Philippines then? How do we have a Star Master in the Philippines if it doesn't work? You tell me. It works, but only for those who work hard to achieve that goal. Can we get a round of applause for our leaders? I got a very good question when I went to Indonesia. I was sponsoring one of my teams in Indonesia, and they said, you know, I don't know who you are, sir, because, of course, first time they saw me, right? They said, but you come to our country, and you tell me that this business called Atomy will become successful, but you don't know our culture. You don't know anything about Indonesia. So how can you tell me that Atomy will become successful in my country? Legitimate question, right? How will you answer? I said, very good question, sir. So let me ask you a question. What are the top companies in the world right now making the most revenue? He said, oh, Amazon, Alibaba. So can you tell me what kind of businesses they are? They're online businesses, sir. Right, they're online businesses. And can you tell me how they're able to make that revenue? Why? He couldn't answer that. So I started to explain. I said, because the internet is now fast. Everybody has a smartphone. Shipping is readily available and fast to everywhere now. But I said, Indonesia may not be ready for Atomy yet because you have so many islands and it takes a long time to ship the products and the convenience factor falls. And not everybody has a smartphone in your country and your internet is not fast as Korea's. Because Korea has the fastest internet in the world. 90% of the population owns a smartphone. And shipping is done within the day. I said Korea is a perfect model of what a future distribution network marketing company will look like. And that is why we're doing $1 billion. But I asked them, I said, do you think your country will always be in this state? Lacking internet speed, not having smartphones, and not having the ability to ship products? He said, no, we will develop. Then I said, why won't Atomy grow with your country then? It will. Maybe you feel like that person asking that question. Maybe you feel like Atomy, Philippines, is not yet ready. Well, guess what? Atomy is not going to wait for you. When people register their TIN numbers, their identification with somebody else, you then lose that person. But if you diligently grow your group now and you build that network, when everybody has a smartphone, when your internet is fast enough, when the shipping grows, when you are able to receive Atomy products for free shipping in the future, all these things will follow. But if you start then, it will be too late. Start now. Work through the difficulties with the company now. And as you do these things, I guarantee you that as time goes by, you will not regret all the hard work and sweat and tears you invest into this company, because they will stand by you and pay you to the third generation. I started with nothing in 2013. When I started, my wife was pregnant. And as soon as my firstborn, Bryce, was born, 45 days later, I started carrying him. And I went to all the meetings and lectures with my little baby carrier. I didn't go home until midnight, 2 in the morning. Why? Why did I do that? Because I was afraid that somebody else would register somebody else. I was afraid that my friend would register in a different line. I was afraid my auntie would buy products from some other auntie. No, because I needed to make sure that I was the one to register them. I needed to make sure that my success was not dependent on somebody else, but on my personal efforts. So I worked hard 300 hours and I only made 73.30. But that didn't matter because I understood that once I was able to change consumer habit, I would have the ability then to continue to market to that person. If they use one item this month, I knew that next month they would use 3. Next month they would use 4, 10. And sooner or later, all the products in Atomy would be in their house. That's the vision that I understood. And that's why I continue to grow the business. And now that's why I travel the world passionately speaking to regular members like yourself. Because I want this to be a turning point in your life. I want everybody in this room to experience the joy and the happiness that I have been able to experience through Atomy. I want you to be able to break those chains of poverty. I want you to be able to grow and share this experience with the next person. What other opportunity will be provided for you for free like Atomy? No registration costs, no monthly fees, nothing. Just you willing to put in the work and work with the company and what? Not give up. And if you don't give up, it is inevitable that you will become successful. It is inevitable that we will all meet at the top and we will all be able to travel the world to share this good news. So I thank you for coming today. I thank you so much for believing in the company and your friend or sponsor who invited you. Now, do the same. Even if your friends and family don't want to come to the seminar, what do? You drag them here. Drag them here. Force them to come. Because when they do come, they will then thank you. They'll say, why didn't you drag me here earlier? You say, I told you so many times. They're like, no, you didn't. You're like, yes, I did. Everybody will be thankful that they came. So, what do you do now? You follow the 8 steps to success. You maintain this feeling, this lecture, and you go home and you register 10 people tonight, okay? Yes. Next lecture, you bring a minimum of 5 people here. And you call Manager Kim and say, listen, this room will be too small because we will all be bringing 5 people. And force him to rent a bigger room. Because it's not going to cost you any money, right? So why not bring as many people as you can? Why not grow your group as fast as you can? I encourage you all today to not give up, to work hard, and let's all meet at the top. Thank you very much.